to the ECS North America Day 1. I'm joined by Dan, who's looking a bit dapper today. You've chosen to bring your sport jacket in, Dan.
I found it.
You found it?
I don't think I've worn it since, for at least over a year.
So when you say you found it,
yeah.
Where was it? Where was it hiding?
In my wardrobe.
You found it in your wardrobe, where all your other clothes reside, I assume.
Yes.
Well, you've achieved something today, Dan. I'm very happy for you. So we're going to have our first day of North America here. It's the $3.5 million league, new for 2016. Again, this is day 1, and we can have a quick look at the North American teams that are in the league at the moment. You can see 10 teams on your screens there. You should be familiar with most of the logos. You can see the WAR logo is ex-Obey. They've changed their name to
Without a roof.
Without a roof, basically. Yeah. So they are
orgless right now, I guess.
I suppose they are.
Looking for a roof.
Roofs are good, Dan.
Yeah.
Especially when it rains, as long as they are well-built roofs. So we can have a look at the schedule quickly and see what 2 matches we are going to have coming up for you. I do believe NRG will be first up versus Complexity, who have another English import, who I do believe is going to be starting today with his comrade dephh. And then Optic versus Without a Roof will be our second match. Both best of threes, as that is the format of the league. Again, it's a $3.5 million league. The teams are offered equity in the league as well. So it's very different to anything that I believe has been in Counter-Strike before. There are obviously much more details, and they will roll out over the coming days and weeks. So, Dan, best of 3, NRG and Complexity. I don't think there's really much to read into Complexity at the moment.
Yeah, they've obviously had a lot of flux, and they have a lot of untested parts, I guess, of the team, and they're trying to figure it out, which is fine. But NRG have been doing a lot better than probably most people would have expected. I know back when we were in Vegas at CES, we actually met one of the guys, the shadows behind the scene, in as far as NRG are concerned. He was talking about players. He's talking about, we're looking at Gob and LEGIJA, and to hear that back then seems so strange. These 2 players, okay, Gob, sure, you can always get him into any kind of a team, but then LEGIJA as well. It feels like you're kind of getting 2 guys for the same thing, maybe, because LEGIJA is going to be able to also provide a lot of leadership. In fact, he was coaching Complexity, I believe, for quite some while actually, before then playing with NRG, and then of course Gobi, it was with Mouse Sports before leaving Mouse Sports, but he's been doing really well so far. NRG have been having good results, and I guess you've got to give a lot of credit to Gobi, as always, for being able to lead the team and to gel everyone together, because that's usually going to be one of the it's always going to be the biggest issue with any new team, is fitting everyone into a structure, creating a structure, getting everyone on the same page, and then fitting the players properly into that. So, and he's good at doing that. So it's cool to see it's going well for him. Also individually, he's been playing quite well, but definitely it's going to be a bit easier for him to spread his wings. Now he's not playing the top 6 teams from Europe all the time, which definitely is going to be a bit more difficult, I'd say. Yeah.
And again, not really sure what to expect. I mean, I don't know if we have casted an NRG. I think a fair few of these teams we haven't casted before. I know they've been playing elsewhere in North America as of late, but as far as we're concerned, it will be new ground. And I mean, we are 2 people who have covered a lot of North American CS, but obviously us being out of action while this was being built, the ECS League, we have a bit of catching up to do. So Complexity, again, I'm assuming that they're going to be a kind of scrimmy style team, basically, i.e. lacking many tactics. We see, there are rumours that we might have Roka leaving the team potentially. We don't know. We'll see if he's playing today. That should really tell the story.
It does look like he's joining Echo Fox. That does seem to be the case.
I believe the Echo Fox are playing matches with Frost in the 5th place. I mean, TCK basically announced that he was kicked from the team. They haven't announced any replacement. Roka's been playing with them recently, but apparently Frost is playing with them today in a match somewhere. So we will see what will actually happen there. But yeah, Complexity, I'm expecting them to just be playing basics, yes, essentially. I mean, the core 4, if at least, have been playing with each other for a fair few weeks, if not months. But they're one of the North American teams where there's basically no expectations from them when their roster was announced, people were like, lol. So we will see what they can provide on this match. Wondering if we have the vetoes available and the map selection for this best of 3. It looks like the first map is going to be Train.
Yeah, I think NRG have had a lot of good results on Train. Again, we've been a bit out of casting directly, but I've seen, sometimes when I've been up and I've been spying some streams, I've been seeing. I think every time I've seen NRG, I have seen them playing Train, and it tends. I think the last time I saw them play Train, I think they completely destroyed Renegades on it, just like completely smashed them. I think that was the last experience I have of NRG. So yeah, they do definitely seem to have some comfort with that map. That is for sure.
All right, well, hopefully we'll have the list of maps soon. Mr. Producer Mike, Producer Reese is off. It just gets worse, doesn't it? Producer Reese takes a day off and then it just
No, he's a Canadian guy.
Yeah. It's not good, man. You've got to stick with the English, I think. All right, so we'll find out what the maps are sooner. Okay, Train Mirage Cache, I'm told, are the maps. Train Mirage and Cache. So again, with the complexity team, I'm not even going to try and break them down because honestly, we don't know what we're going to expect from this team.
It was funny because we mentioned when we looked at the 10 listed teams, one of the 2 qualified teams was without a roof, they qualified as ex-Obey, obviously, just a placeholder name, as is without a roof, but at least it's not like the X and org name.
That's really annoying just as a caster.
Yeah.
Just call yourself Sponge or something,
So yeah, pretty much anything.
Sausages.
And they have done that, so that's something at least. But that's a team, for example, even though we only casted, we casted a best of 5 in a round robin with a group of 4 teams with them. And so we've seen perhaps maybe like, if I had to guess, maybe 6 or 7 maps maybe with them, featuring them. And we already know a lot about them now, actually, a lot about their players, a lot about who the hard hitters, how they actually structure themselves, on certain maps, and how they approach the game. And so with them, I actually feel like you could actually extrapolate quite a lot against some of these teams. But for me, complexity especially is going to be a big question mark. Although, I never expect anything from the UK scene. To me, it's I don't care about it.
But you're jaded though. You're jaded, Dan.
I am jaded, yeah.
You're jaded.
A little bit.
Across like the entire UK scene for any game, it seems.
I just expect results, and there's no results.
Well, that's fair enough. And these are 2 people. These are 2 players. These English players that I'm not aware of. That's not to say that means anything, because it doesn't really. Like there are groups of top players who in the UK who will scrim with each other. I've scrimmed with some groups of top players. I say scrimmed, right? But really, it's like I'll go on the IRC channel and they'll pick 2 captains, and then I'll always be number 11 who doesn't get to play. But there's been an odd rare occasion where I have actually been picked because there haven't been more than 10 people down. And I've played with a bunch, but I've never played with these 2 guys, so I don't know anything about them personally. Henry says they're good individuals, but I mean, that probably means they can aim.
That's kind of a given. I mean, getting the individual skills up to a good enough level is fine. A standout level is, that's when you really start hearing about players, and when they start jumping between rosters and people start trying them out. But getting mechanics to like a decent level where you can compete in professional games is actually not. It's not too insanely difficult, to be honest. It's not actually too much of an ask. What is difficult is actually how you can blend in with a team. That's can you do various roles? Are you going to be adaptable? Are you going to be someone that can communicate well and that people will feel good playing with you? That they will feel like they can actually they can achieve things with you and have goals with you. You're part of a unit. Like, this is a different thing actually entirely, and people need to get a lot of kind of practice and reputation towards that kind of thing for people to want to actually play with them, and that in of itself is a big skill set. Actually, being a part of a team is very, very different than just being an individual, of course.
Yeah.
Unless as I say, you're let's take simple as the extreme example, where you're so insanely good, you can have like so many problems with the team dynamic that it just doesn't matter, because the team can just play around you, and you're such a good fragger, you can find a way to win. You can legitimately expect victories with a strategy that works around that one player, and you use that as a core. But most people aren't going to be able to achieve simple level skills. So yeah, it's going to be curious to see how these UK players will develop, being imported over?
Yeah.
Or the British exports? What will it be like? I don't know.
So for those of you who used to be or still are our subscribers, I was tuned into the European stream actually, and there was one guy who has been subscribed to the channel for 12 months. So respect to you, sir. When we hit 700,000 people, followers, we actually did a giveaway for a Glock Fade and I think a StatTrak voucher knife, and neither were claimed, even though they both went to subscribers. So I think next week I will organise a giveaway for those, but it does appear that we are into the pistol round here, NRG versus Complexity. NRG starting on the T side. We can see there is a diffuse kit onto Shinobi, so they're not going to go for the liquid double diffuse kit, which we are seeing perhaps all too often, Dan.
Yeah, and dephh is going to be challenged first, so we're going to start to see a guy, from the UK who's heralded as be quite sick. Let's see if he lives up to the test. So far, just one frag for him, and it does look like the T's NRG are going to claim the bomb site. So it's going to be great to see how they how they will play that start if they manage to actually clutch this round to close it. But they first have to deal with these impending approach of CTs. They're getting closer and closer right now, and NRG are losing grip of the bomb site. It is just the nefarious leader, JZFB, who's left alive right now. And the DPS is coming in, the cover will be there. Plenty of players, plenty of bodies to throw in front of the crosshair there of JZFB, and Complexity will take over the round. So NRG will not really be able to impose their will immediately on the match, which would have been interesting to see. But we'll see their strategies, sooner rather than later. Anyway, we do have they did get the bomb down, so they're not going to invest too much right now. And of course, we'll see the AKs come out on the third round, and that's where it's going to get really dangerous for Complexity. So. Let's see though, maybe NRG can get some more damage done here. That's going to be the main goal. They've already lost one player. They got one smoke on Peter.
Good start from the CT side. Not much investment here from NRG, obviously, and it seems they don't have an execute to get a second bomb plant on their eco round, so they're just going to try and walk around and find someone in a compromising position. So all three players are separated at the moment, and they're standing around Dan. And that's all that's going on there. So I'm going to take my shoes off while they do this. My right shoe is now off, Dan. I'm wearing one shoe. Dan, I've also taken off my left shoe. The T's are moving towards the B bomb site. The bomb is still in their control. They're playing close to the smoke. That's a good position actually, because if the T's were to push through the smoke, then they wouldn't see him. They'd just get wrecked. Absolutely. Good for pistol rounds on Inferno as well. If you're playing B apps and they're rushing B apps, then A apps, you just pop a smoke down, crack the front of it with a 5-7, and away you go. And let's see if Shinobi can stay alive there. Good 2 kills for him. Can he get the third one? No, Silence going to take him down, but dephh will trade and upgrade. I like how he went for the CZ before the Fairmass as well when he had an MP9. But there we go. The round is theirs. They lost only the one player.
Okay, well, they'll have to deal with the AKs now. And I wonder if NRG will just not, if they won't just try to get themselves in yard, pretty quickly for those open aim battles to try to use those AKs to full effect. They should have a pretty good advantage on the long ranges against the CTs. And they're going to go for a pop flash straight into a push from the Complexity side, and we'll get a 1v1 trade, which is certainly going to be better for the NRG side as they move now, or try to move now into Pop Dog. But there are some smokes that have been put down here by the CT. sancz pretty exposed at open position right there. Under the cover of the smoke from Pop Dog, able to get a 1v1 on Ali, and that's going to be pretty key right now. sancz definitely a little bit stretched, but he managed to pick up the advantage for his team, and now NRG are being rerouted. Now they're trying to think, okay, how can we figure out a way to win this round? They'll go for that push towards inner. Nice molly. Peter able to take down Surreal thanks to the molly, pushing him out of position, and now back to a 3-on-3. But just in there, waiting for witmer to spot the shadow, and that is witmer down now. sancz and dephh have everything to do. It's going to be very, very difficult for them. And NRG back into A again. They've been switching bomb sites repeatedly. But here is where they'll get the finish. And there is sancz in heaven at the moment. That could be a very, very dangerous position. He might just be guaranteed one free kill. And there it is going to be. Oh, good. Wow, he doesn't kill Gob. I can't believe it. Gob able to even get the kill onto dephh. And now sancz has given his position away without getting the frag. This is a disaster. But at least he's going to pick up the kill eventually. He's still stuck in heaven, though, with 4 points of health. So, pretty rough spot to be dealing with. Let's see if he can somehow engineer. Ooh!
Oh.
I thought he's going to crater, but he does not crater. Here he goes. 2 rifles pointed his way, and there is not much he can do. That was a really back and forth round there. You can see NRG. I was trying to big them up a little bit. Oh, maybe they're going to have these 6 strategies, but they're just like walking back and forth between A and B. It's like, you know, getting picked and then getting the pick back, and a bit chaotic, really.
They get their first round onto the board. The forces coming up from Complexity. So we'll see shinobi and sancz on pistols only. Quite a lack of grenades as well, and that might be the cause of this aggression from the CT side. Many players moving quite close towards main and pop. Silent's going to be holding an angle towards Ivy, but most of the NRG players, I think there's one passive in main. Indeed, that's Justin, and the rest of them would be over towards B for the time being. Oh, there's a crossfire actually for Peter and Justin, so maybe realizing there's going to be some aggression from the CTs are going to wait for it. Peter's going to get traded by sancz, who's going to get traded by Justin. So it's a man advantage for the T's. And now there's a significant problem with complexity numbers and guns, although the last 2 have M4s. There was a pistol in play as well. So let's see, this is good. 2 CTs left, and 2 of the T's are going to just join forces and make sure they play the trade game together. I think ideally LEGIJA might want to join him as well, but he's quite far away. So perhaps they can go for a split into the A site. In fact, that would make it, LEGIJA's position would make it easier for them to plant the bomb, because it would be harder for the CTs to hide around the bomb train and pop out to kill someone. So I would expect Justin and Silent to move into the A site. You can see witmer and dephh over towards B. And now LEGIJA's position stops a rotation from the CTs. So very nicely done.
Yeah, another awkward spot for Complexity indeed. Bomb will be planted though by Justin, and now Complexity still just trying to survive, playing the survival game, keep those weapons alive into the next round. And I mean, their money is going to be pretty awful after losing the previous rounds, then buying up this round. That means that NRG are going to start taking full control of this match. I'm going to start seeing how they're going to choose to impose themselves upon the CT side. Obviously not really all that much here for witmer and dephh to do. And NRG, you know, they're not really too keen on hunting these players down at the moment. Alright, so the bomb will be detonated, and that is going to be $3,500 for all those T players. Individually, the money is starting to build quite significantly now for NRG, thanks to that round win. And now Complexity going to try to get done what they can with the weapons that they have saved. But NRG, they should be pretty safe if they just make sure they run one of the, you know, a solid anti-force buy, and they should be good. And there's lots of ways to do it. You can do it towards yard. You can do it towards alley. You just need to have the right coordination with your teammates and the right nades to back it up with. I'd say that B is probably easier, much easier to go for the anti-force buy though than the rest of the possibilities, such as A yard. I think A yard there's a lot of spots the CTs can hide with these pistols, but NRG going with a bit of a default right now, just waiting out some aggression.
You saw that flashbang from Gobby at the beginning. I would say download the demo. I think you can find them on the ECS website, which I believe is ecsleague.com, or links to them. But anyway, yeah, grab the demo, just look at the VOD actually, that's enough. And learn that flash that Gobby just did. It stops any pushes or anybody holding close angles on B slope, lower B slope. Which the CTs, when they have better equipment, can hold there with rifles, AWPs. I actually hold that position with an AWP quite often. So there we go. Witmer going for jumping into connector with your knife out. I don't know why you would do that if you have a rifle, because, I mean, it's connector, right? Everybody knows it's a key part of the map that people want to control. So I don't understand why you would bunny hop into it with your knife as opposed to a gun. That just seems like a waste of money.
Don't know, James. I can't help you here.
You do know that.
I can't help
and
you
you agree
here.
with me. I know you do. It's like that's almost equivalent to jumping, like bunny hopping out of long doors on Dust 2 with a knife out. Just why? Why would you do that? What is your expectation of 4T players? You think nobody's in connector? You think they've forgotten about it?
Well, I mean, Complexity are playing on the back foot again, and since winning that pistol round and getting the follow up, they haven't really been able to defend. I mean, even though the first buy round from the T's looked quite chaotic, and it was pick for pick for pick, and it wasn't a strategic advantage that NRG had. In fact, strategically, that you could say that they were kind of lost in how to push forwards. And Complexity did a good job in destabilizing them by picking off players. At the same time, NRG just won the picks there, and so far individually, that seems to be one of the big differences that we're seeing. We need to see Complexity really get going on these individual plays, and shinobi will pick up the AWP, so maybe that is going to be
no armor,
the
of course.
start.
Oh dear,
He misses the shot though. That's unfortunate.
He's got no armor, so down to 14 HP already. He's lucky to be alive. I'm surprised he didn't go towards connector with the AWP, because he needs to be in a good position as possible, as fast as possible, and he would have been ready for that angle had he been over there. I mean, hindsight's hindsight, but with no armor, I'm probably going to put the AWP in connector just because I know. I mean, you saw shinobi that had to go for a peek there, basically, and miss a shot, but if he's just sitting there holding the angle, then he's much more likely to get a kill for the team. And Godby's made his way into the B bomb site, just casually going for a stroll, although dephh has saved his teammate. Godby's gone down. We've got an Ivy creep coming in, but a bomb's been taken down by LEGIJA through pop. Peter's trying to do something about it, but sancz is going to take him down to 5 HP. So it looks like Complexity could get a round on the board here. Both NRG players tagged. There's 7 HP between them. Well, it's not over yet. Got a player in pop, and dephh coming out for the flank, but he's missed a shot. Can I take down Peter though? And Justin should be in a lot of trouble now, but it's still doable for him because witmer's got 21 HP. Good decision making by Justin. So we are going to see a plant here.
At the very least, he just needs to get the damage in. If he can get these, if he can somehow create at least one kill, that's a massive situation. That's a big win. Even if they lose the round, actually, that's a big win because their money has been building pretty well, to be honest. And he's got that extra $800 bonus for each player now. All that he needs to worry about is that one kill. If he can win the round, that would be unthinkably amazing with this, with 2 HP. I mean, these CTs are very low, and if he gets the drop on one of them, which he's going to, now it becomes very interesting indeed. Oh, he's going to go for the peek there. Nice idea. Throwing up the flash, trying to force dephh to look away, then trying to get the shot.
Wait.
dephh didn't fall for it. dephh is going to be fine. He's got it. And but that was okay. They got the kill. He got the kill. That means only dephh survives. That means they have to spend all of their money, and they can barely even afford. They can't really even afford to buy, to be honest. Like this kind of money in some rounds and some maps, in some situations, teams just would even actually just go for a bit of a quasi buy and then get a stronger buy in the following round. But we are going to have the full buy, and they're going to be lacking utility almost entirely. 2 players with no grenades at all, so it's going to be a rough round for Complexity. That said, LEGIJA's on just a deagle. And NRG, they're really in a good position. They stand to break Complexity if they win this round, and they could really start stringing those rounds together. It's going to be a really hard situation to deal with for the CT side. And Peter's going to get a pick. sancz is down. Oh dear, that's not a good start here for the CT side. And on train, what do you do? How do you level the difference? How do you get? You can't really get information safely at all on this map. It's so hard to do that. If NRG just play a good coordination or a good set piece into the A bomb site now, they are so golden.
Look at this double peek from the T's in Pop Dog. Oh, it's gone now. I think it was shown on the screen actually a bit earlier. That was kind of cool, but let's see if Peter can finally get shut down by the CTs. Again, the T's are getting out of main for free, it seems, against Complexity. And we've seen Peter consistently in main, so I would really just put an AWP holding the angle and try to pick him off there. Because I don't know if they're getting nades towards connector somehow, but I would like to see the CTs just stick the AWP in connector and try to take Peter down because he's causing them problems. He is top fragging for his team at the moment with Justin.
Yeah, it's reliably getting those picks at the start of the rounds. That is definitely a big problem indeed. Like how at the end there, NRG had the good communication to just they knew the last player left was the B player, and so he's either going to come from one or two places, and then they already preemptively are rushing down Pop Dog. So it's good. They're on top of things. Just pistols here for complexity. They have a big loss bonus now, 4 rounds in a row. So that means next round's gonna be a lot of. I mean, if they want to, they can have a lot of sniper rifles. I don't know that they'll go for that, but could work because this is what's just crushing them right now. Is this pick-based style, and that could be a nice way to try to deal with that. But even still, you know, Peter, he's super on point, and it's really cool when Peter's playing very well. That's a scary prospect. I'm gonna get a couple frags out of the pistols here from a complexity, but NRG are very okay to withstand such losses at the moment. Thanks, last man standing. Can he get something else done with the Dayik?
I think LEGIJA might be going to try and take him down here after spotting him at the back earlier. And is he even going to see the angle in time? No, he's not. So they're just serving themselves up in 1 versus 1s. And now it's a 2 versus 1. And sancz has an AK. So the problems may continue here for the NRG side. It seems they've made the right gamble in going towards the A site. My question is sancz going to go for it? He's got 2 kills already and 65 HP. Doesn't seem to be sure as to which bomb site it is yet. Yeah,
for him, there's no real incentive to save the rifle because unless he really wants to keep the AK and the Deagle, but his team's going to have so much money in the next round to buy whatever the hell they want that it just doesn't really matter too much.
You see
no, they got reset. Of course they did. I'm forgetting that. So just completely ignore me there.
You see how sancz actually did some shoulder picking in connector in a 1 versus 2, but in a 2 versus 4, just jump in with your knife. Whoever that was. I don't remember who it was, but the point stands.
So I completely forgot they got reset.
Back in the room, Dad.
That means this is a lot worse, obviously, than I initially thought it was. Damn. Yeah, you can see sancz dropping the Deagle there. He's going to keep the AK. He's got a bit of Kevlar to invest with it, whilst his team is going to do one more save. Pretty much close to a full save otherwise. Not much investment at all. Hey, will Peter be back to his usual shenanigans here from Team Main? He's been so damn good with the AWP picks so far against the complexity side. And they know it as well. As soon as they start getting into their heads, they're going to be trying to specifically counter Peter to stop him and his abuse of their setups. And that's either going to work for them, or it's going to, obviously things could get worse if they try to invest, overly in just outplaying Peter.
Let's go to B. Let's go to B. Where's dephh? dephh is going for a flank, and he's taken LEGIJA down. And now the pressure is on NRG to push the bomb site because they've got a potential flank coming in. Guess who it is? It's Peter making the picks again with the AWP.
Yeah, too fast track. Shinobi in a good position, but he can't do anything with it. And now the numbers are dwindling. And it looks like it's going to be a pretty solid cleanup here coming in from NRG in the end. dephh sort of forced the issue a little bit by going for the flank. And that started the action. Peter on 14 frags now though. Definitely on point on train so far. And 6-3 is the score. NRG doing a very good job in keeping themselves ahead right now. But it's time for the buy. We've got Witmer on the AWP here for the CT side. And where is he going? He's going towards Ali, I believe. Yep, there he is. So is he going to be able to best Peter? Because Peter has been hanging out, looking for these picks every round. Witmer is looking to try to get the counter. He knows that Peter has been a massive problem. He knows that he's going to be peaking there eventually. But how patient will he be? And how patient will Peter be? Because he's got to be expecting it too at this point. They know that the AWP is going to be somewhere. The CTs will be able to afford one now, so...
You can see the CTs have taken a much more passive positioning over towards A, where they had loads of people around the electric box close to Pop Dog, and they were just all getting wrecked by Peter. Now they're playing at the back of the site over towards A, so the fear has been instilled in them, and Peter knows they're looking for him. He knows that they have responded to the reckoning over there. We've had one complexity player drop from the server, actually. But that aside, now you have to wonder what the reaction is from NRG. They know that they're looking for Peter, and they're trying to avoid being picked by him. And Peter obviously realizes that. He's not going to set himself up. But then what is the play from NRG? They're currently just holding formation with 40 seconds on the clock. And here we go. Moving into Pop Dog, actually, is one of the players that scored B. So he's starting to cause some havoc. And it seems that maybe he's going to be sacrificed to find out what the players for the CTs. Push coming in from main as well. And Ivy flank is coming in. Witmer's almost going to kill there onto LEGIJA, but taken down by indeed LEGIJA he will be.
Yeah, so not much doing really for complexity. I mean, unfortunately, dephh dropped from the server somehow. I don't know what happened. Maybe his game crashed or something like that. But that was almost as if, you know, Peter got a pick. They went down to 5 versus 4, made their life much easier because they could just execute into the bomb site with that man advantage. And once again, you know, NRG just looking completely dominant here so far. And you got to credit Peter, man. He's been way too reliable.
Yeah, I'm guessing they need to fix depths money.
dephh.
How do you?
I would say dephh because it's PH.
Death.
I would say dephh.
Like Death Becomes Her.
I would say dephh.
Do you remember that film, Death Becomes Her?
Yeah.
Who's in that film?
I don't know. It's very old.
That chick. What's her name?
She falls down the stairs or something.
I know her face, but I can't remember her name. Death Becomes Her. Goldie Horn, please don't scream down the microphone. Producer Mike, where is Producer Reese? Can we get him back?
Now you want him back.
Bloody hell.
You tried to fire him.
He just screams Goldie Horn down the blooming microphone.
But yeah, I would say dephh because that is intuitively how I would pronounce it as a British person. But you intuitively.
It's like depth, like the depth of a swimming pool, minus the T.
Exactly. So it's.
But I thought you were saying death, like someone's died.
Death, no, dephh, D-E-P-H.
But that's like death, right?
What do you mean?
Like death as in dying?
Yeah, but it's...
Why do people do this? Why can't you just be called, like, oranges?
The funny thing is I'm trying to think of an example, but the first example that came to my mind was ephemeral. And that's like not really a very simple example of that rule of PH being, you know, a first sound in English, right? Why can't I think of another one? This is ridiculous. But
so you're saying deaf?
Yeah. Because that is the only way that you can pronounce that word that I can possibly think of.
I can go with that. I can go with deaf.
I mean, if people...
It's like my face wants to say something else, but my brain wants to say deaf. My brain wants to say depth or something. I don't even know what it's trying to do.
You're confusing me. You're doing this thing again where it's like, I know I'm right, but you're sowing
I'm not saying you're wrong.
Sowing seeds of doubt in my mind.
I don't know if there is a right or wrong when your name is deaf.
It seems like it should be short for something, but I can't possibly think what it could be.
Depth charge.
Maybe, but it's not depth. There's no depth there.
Depth charge.
So, if you guys know anything, you can tell us more on this. Please tweet us about it so we can put this to bed.
No, tweet down. Don't tweet me about this.
You can put this to bed because
this is not a topic for discussion on my Twitter.
And it's not like this guy is even Swedish, right? Where he has like a Swedish name where legitimately you might not know how to pronounce it or something. He's a Brit James and you can't even say his name.
Well, I'm just having.
How do you defend yourself?
It doesn't make any sense.
How do you plead?
I have nothing to say to you.
Good. Let's keep it that way.
I have literally nothing to say to you. So we're just waiting for the money to be restored in the game, which should hopefully happen soon. I'm not wearing any shoes, but I'm not going to show you my feet. I mean, I don't have I have socks on.
Why would you show them your feet?
I have socks on. I just want people to know that I'm not going to present my feet on the stream.
I should think that
they have socks on.
Would assume that. I don't think that was a fear that was lingering in their minds.
Look, sometimes, at least the internet, right? There's always somebody who thinks something out there. Sometimes you've got to clarify these things. It's as simple as that. Sometimes you've got to clarify these things, Dan. So this is the first game in our best of 3. Never goes smoothly in North America, Dan. Never goes smoothly. Best of 5s.
At least they turned up to the server on time.
At least they did that. You know, when Shawn Grills was in Cloud9, they had some punctuality issues there as well. I'm not proposing that it's his fault, but it probably is. We're going to blame Shawn Gears. That's what we're going to do. So I think we'll go to a break while we wait for this issue. I was going to say issue and I was going to say error, and I said issue. While we wait for this to be sorted out, we're going to go to a break. We'll see you back here in a few minutes once the unpause has come in. See you soon. Hello, and it's time to go straight back into the game because it has resumed and the money's been fixed, and that's the end of the round. Let's go. Back to you, Dan.
Yep. So NRG, I mean, they have been completely crushing complexity. Pretty much that's been the theme so far of this matchup. NRG haven't really had any struggles when it comes to getting the picks. They haven't really been forced, therefore, to actually go for any real execute or set piece based play. So we have not really even seen the capabilities there just yet. It's more about complexity trying to adapt. And it's been a long road, but we're finally going to see this double AWP, and it might pan out, but no, once again, that peak on the upper is such a good idea, but the execution of it never seems to work in the favor of complexity. They lose a man again early in the round, and it's always so hard on this map to try to get back from that man deficit. Because now NRG, they can keep going for these picks. We will get dephh leveling things up a little bit, taking down LEGIJA, so it is 4 versus 4 now, but that's some key information there for the T side. They know that there's a player there. The 3 other players are either on A, or there could be one kind of floating in connector, something similar to that. dephh gets another frag, and then finally NRG are going to start to make a move here. But it does feel like maybe NRG being a little bit too slow in this round, a little bit too passive. It has worked out previously because, hey, complexity have been making mistakes, and NRG has just been waiting and sitting back and punishing them. But now they've got to go for it, and you can see that GodB is going to try to take the initiative right now into the bomb site A. It's got the attention of multiple CTs, and they're going to start throwing those nades to get rid of these T players as they try to bust through these choke points onto this A bomb site. And time is becoming an issue now. 25 seconds left to get the bomb onto a site. It's stuck by Ali at the moment, and the spray comes in, but nothing is done there on Ali. The T's will progress through onto this site. In comes the headshot from GodB, finally getting the pick, and then once again we see too many missed shots here for complexity. I mean, let's not forget, they managed to get 2 frags early into the round. 2 for 1, essentially.
That's I mean, nice bunny hopping by sancz with the AWP, but with that angle, you're basically, there are 3 different places you can get peeked from upper, from lower right and lower left, and you saw there were 2 people there. Didn't manage to hit either of them. It's quite a dangerous peak because of how many places you can be aimed at from. So it's an early disadvantage for the complexity side, and they find themselves with not much. 3 flashbangs, and that's about it. dephh is alone on the B bomb site. Fortunately for him, both T's are just trying to creep in, but because he's alone, he's looking up towards upper and gets taken down from lower. So this is not looking very good for complexity at all. And if sancz goes down here, you have to wonder if it's going to be a save already for the CT side. Indeed, they've got 2 people pushing Ivy, and Surreal moving over to connector on his own. But again, his teammates are miles away from him, and surely they can't be going for this. So yeah, Surreal's moving away, but he's been spotted by Justin or taken down, and it's not going very well for complexity at all.
No, I mean, they're being somewhat outclassed just all across the board so far on this map. And again, it hasn't really taken any big coordinated set plays from the T side. They've been able to just win any battles that have been coming their ways, most of these 1 versus 1s, and that doesn't bode well for this entire best of 3, in fact. We shall see the hunts now coming in from the remainder of NRG as they try to crush these weapons that are trying to save, and they are going to be successful in that. No save, no mercy, no survivors here for the CT side, and that means they need to go for a bit of a quasi-buy potentially here to get a strong buy into the next round. And we will see the mag Kevlar on sancz, and the rest of his teammates buying up as well. And they do have that max money loss bonus at the moment. In fact, they're going to force it up. I actually do like this because 3 rounds is, at least they have 3 rounds. If they lose the pistol round, they can still play for that overtime. But this gives them 2 chances now to try to get some rounds on the board, as opposed to just banking everything on that last round. And right now, NRG, they're ramping up the pace, pedal to the metal, and they're straight in that A-bomb site right at the start in the first 15 seconds. And now already look at these positions. Wonderful stuff coming in here from NRG. GodB holding down Pop Dog, and the weapons are not going to perform very well in these open spaces here for complexity. They are not really designed to go for that retake. They were really hoping that NRG would send a couple players towards inner, but they just did not do that. And instead, Complexity are going to be stuck on mags, and slowly but surely they will be one by one picked off. And that's 11-3 NRG, looking pretty good for the last round as well, with that overwhelming buy that they have.
Peter's got 15 grand in the bank as we move into the last round of the first half. So this is almost a no-show from Complexity, thanks down to the Mag 7 now. And I don't think we saw the AWP into connector once. Again, for those of you who are not very familiar with Train, the CTs always get to CT connector before the Ts get to T main, which means that when afforded the AWP, Complexity could try and mount an offense towards Peter before Peter can even peek the angle. But as we saw from Mo on Gambit, it appears to be wallbangable. But we didn't actually see him succeed with that, but he must be doing it for a reason. So we've got creeping through the smoke, Surreal's just about going to take God B down. Meanwhile, the rest of the Ts, for the most part, are over towards the B bomb site. dephh is going to get taken down from the back once again. I mean, obviously the setup for the Complexity right now is a bit of a disaster with the fan masses and no snipers. But every time he looks one way on B, he gets killed from the other. So doesn't seem like a stronghold by any means for the Complexity side. Bomb's been planted now, and NRG have the site cut in half with the spread of the 3 Ts. And sancz is going to drop like a lemming down and be shot by a cannon.
Yep. Once again, it's the same story in this round as every other round. And it's a great tell for NRG. It's really cool to see that they have such strength and such dominance on a map like this. Obviously, Peter really kicked things off well, and definitely do wonder how things would have panned out for Complexity had they not picked up the pistol round. I mean, if they hadn't picked up the pistol round, would they have gotten any rounds at all? Only winning 1 round with defuse, buy versus buy, as you can see in the 6th round. And that was it. Basically, they got reset, and the story was a grim one. There is obviously still a chance here if they themselves can field a strong T side, but it's definitely going to be pretty difficult against the momentum that NRG have going forwards. They also have definitely a lot of comfort on this map. It's so clear.
I have the best Crimson Web that I've seen yet. I'm just saying.
You should try to sell it.
No, I
sell all your possessions, please.
No.
Ooh, got beat. He's going to find some players here. This is not an optimal engagement for the USPs, but does it matter? They will still get the frags going 1 for 2 there, NRG. They are loving that. And now the bomb is forced to run into the AR. They've got to make a desperation play. Is it going to save them, though? We've got CTs from all angles trying to enclose upon that bomb site, and the bomb is still yet to be planted. They're trying to take down the player over by quad, and they'll do so. In doing so, they might sacrifice basically a plant. It's still going to go down, but some teammates were lost in the cause.
Well, is the range going to pay off for the CTs? No, it's not. Surreal with another important frag onto Peter, who is heavily tagged. But where is the last CT? I wonder how much Peter saw on the def cam there. Justin seems to have his number, but Surreal's moving around the boxes. And again, you see that variance coming in there. It's just about who peeks where sometimes on the A site. Nice flash, and he's wasting loads of time. Justin has no kit either. Oh, there's a kit right there, actually. So if he gets a kill here, he would have won the round, but he's not going to be able to. Surreal gives Complexity a chance.
It absolutely does, but the bomb did go down for the... sorry, I'm mixing up the size, James, because...
Well, the bomb did go down there.
It did go down, indeed, but they won the round as well, so... That's a CT's planted the bomb or something. But
oh, yes. You even set me the wrong way at that.
Exactly, there you go. But we get the boss fight out of the CTs. Double scout could be pretty fun. Cannot wait to see how this one goes.
That's what I'm talking about. See, sancz has been tagged immediately by the scout. Because Peter went straight to connector, gets there before the Ts run out, just ignoring all the spawn timings of the map, get tagged straight away. That said, well, I say it's worked out for them. They've got a man advantage at the moment, so it could have been worse. Gobby's trying to be patient with the 5-7, but just not going to get the connection he needs. And Complexity will bum rush the site, and it will succeed for now.
It will indeed. Triple Mac 10. That is always good to see as well. Obviously,
it's almost my birthday, Dan.
They know.
But the Mac 10s are out already.
They know. Oh, we have a lot of HEs here. Will they just toss them all to T main? Looks like they might do that. Gonna hear. Oh, a lot of grenades. Boom, boom. A little bit out of synchronization there, but that's okay. So those Mac 10s are gonna be really dangerous right now for NRG because they don't have any Kevlar or really any weapons at all to speak of. Ooh, dephh. He is down to 2 HP, and the bomb has been planted by his team, so it's all good in the hood. CTs are falling. Mac 10 making bank. And all is as it should be on train. Just Justin and Gob sneaking around, trying to get some extra damage here. I mean, if they're able to get one more pick off, that's going to be pretty annoying for Complexity. And that goes a pretty far way too, I think. You know, making it, even in rounds where, you know, let's say Complexity win. And if NRG just make every round hard, even the anti-ecos, that just feels a little bit more oppressive, a little bit more frustrating. Like like things just aren't going your way because those rounds should be smooth. You should feel good. You should be able to get them clean. But NRG definitely mentally look to be in a better place slightly, and as they should be. 12-6 up, and we are going to see more pistols here from NRG. What is happening right now, James? Why is everyone dying? The CTs don't have anything. I just had a pause for a moment, and everyone dies. I was wondering why they didn't even buy that last round. That's what I was trying to work out, because they did force buy, did a full eco, and then
I'm not even surprised.
Then they just bought pistols again. Oh, I don't know what's going on.
I'm not even surprised then. That's why I didn't say anything. I was like, yeah, this is Ireland. I'm not surprised.
But why didn't they buy? I don't know why they didn't buy last round. Obviously, evidently, it doesn't matter because they still crushed Complexity.
I just know. So NRG have picked up a bunch of stuff from the T side. This was the pick of NRG, and I don't know what Complexity vetoed, but this is not their best map, I hope. They picked Mirage, did Complexity, which is the second map in this best of 3. But anyway, let's see what the CT hold is like for the NRG side. And I do wonder what the play from Complexity is going to be. I'm not expecting much more than playing for picks. At the moment, you can see sancz holding an angle towards IV. witmer's there in support as well. I think witmer's on trial at the moment, isn't he? I think he's on trial. They should all be on trial, Dan, for that push into A in the previous round. But dephh has come out into main now, and the CT, Silent and LEGIJA are stuck between 4 Ts, and they will both go down. Justin trying to do what he can. Actually, that's a nice 2 kills for him, and all of a sudden, things are back in favour of NRG. So we're down to a 2 versus 1. This is almost like an AIM 1v1 map at the moment.
Chaos is what it is. Peter is always delivering. Ooh, Gob. He spotted the last player, dephh. His position's been given up. Now that's really dangerous. Peter is lurking around with the AWP. Oh, he missed the shot. That was the chance. Now dephh can still get this done, although 20 seconds, he still has to plant the bomb. And Gobi is just going for the full hero runaround, going for the runaround. And this is really smart as well, because if dephh would have gone to connector, I think he could have gone to connector, Gobi would have been able to intercept, but he's now guaranteed that he's going to know where the bomb is planted. dephh is actually turning away from connector now. Gobi, is he going to read this? First things first to Gobi is he's going to check where the bomb is and see if that can help him deduce where dephh is standing. And I think if he sees where it is right now, the bomb that is, I think he could actually have a good idea about this. Here comes Gob. Is he going to be smart enough to predict? Oh no, dephh! He was looking away! Oh, the timing!
Jumping USP to take the round.
The timing there, that was brutal. And now, how brutal is this? Complexity lose that round, and obviously they do get the bomb planted, so that's some money. But as you can see, they can't really afford a full buy. They can afford 2 players with AKs and Kevlar. Everyone else has to at best get a little Tech 9. And NRG are just rolling with the big guns. They got double AWP.
I have 2 questions. Number 1 is, are Complexity going to rush A? Number 2 is, are we going to see an AWP in connector looking at main? And indeed we are. Peter's going straight there, something Complexity should have done. I won't stop harping on about that. But indeed, it looks like Complexity going to choose to rush Ivy instead. And that is a good start by Silent. Got a penetration tag as well. dephh goes down. witmer's soon to follow. There he goes. There goes the bomb as well. So Complexity trying to rush the A site, getting absolutely wrecked in all angles. Again, Peter was still in connector, takes the player down from main. Something to learn here for Complexity on their CT side.
What a sexy play there from Silent. Is that the Silent that makes those frag movies?
I don't know about any frag movies.
Because there's a Silent that made quite a few very popular frag movies. One of them was he made a couple on Scream, and there was like another one. But it must be a different Silent. But he puts his name exactly like that too.
I played a game of matchmaking with him and one of the Flipside management when I was in North America. Yeah. I want to say when I was in Vegas, but I'm not sure. But yeah, I've never spoken to him, so I don't know. And I don't know anything about your frag movies, mate.
The Scream
I don't watch frag movies, Dan. I make frag movies every time I play matchmaking.
I think, all right. Okay then. Boom! Silence back at it. Quick flick on the push. Nothing can go wrong. And it looks like it is destiny for NRG to take train. They are the masters of train. And perhaps the universe. Maybe not the universe. Universe is a significantly large place.
Oh, is it, Dan?
Submit, perhaps not.
Thank you for clarifying that the universe is large. And not just large, Dan, but significantly large.
And Shinobi is going to get pinned in. And he is now going to be finished off as well.
Tell us more about the universe, Dan.
So 16-6 is going to be the final score.
The universe just closed in on Complexity.
And we have Mirage up next, which is going to be the pick of Complexity. So I wonder if Complexity are going to be able to show something better on that map. I mean, hey, maybe if they're able to get a CT start, maybe that's what they need. Maybe they're a T-sided team on that map, and maybe they just need the T start. We'll have to see how it works out for them. But NRG, just the way that they won that match, the way that the individual, weighed in versus the individual of the other team, it looked really so good for NRG. Like I can see them just winning any map based purely on individual skills.
We didn't see, as a team, we didn't see much from Complexity.
Yeah.
I mean, like, they have a coach on the map. Peter's in main, and he's wrecking them with the AWP in main every round, and they don't put an AWP in main just to stop him from doing that. I don't understand why that's the case. Like, he just continues to go to main and pick them. When they can stick a guy connector, he gets there faster. Like, do they not know that? I know that.
Well, I mean, there's obviously spots where Peter's getting a pick from team main where he's not availing himself to that angle, because there's other angles, of course.
Of course,
obviously,
there are,
that's like, I don't think is as big a leak as maybe it is. Obviously, it was exploited that they didn't do that on some rounds, but there's other issues as well. I think
there are 4 places where Peter's looking. One is connector. One is the T side of the bomb train near the stoppers, which is a common place for CTs to hold. The other is the long channel closest towards Ivy, that side of the train, and then above the train itself. But I mean that it seems like an easy adjustment that they could have made, and that's just one example. But you saw sancz with the AWP as well, just going for very difficult peaks. I mean, you saw him just bunny hopping into upper B to take a peek there, which is a dangerous peak. But I mean, he can have a teammate bounce a flash from lower, for example, to make that peak a little bit safer. So there's a lot of coordination, which could have been had that wasn't really. And
there's another approach as well. So the other approach is just denying the T's picks at all, basically. Just play a passive game style where you completely deny them picks. For example, if you're not confident to win the pick battle, you don't have to take the angles. But the problem is you do need enough experience on the map to know how a T side is going to try to pick you, what angles aren't safe, and how to abuse smokes to try and take those angles away from that team and then frustrate them. Because there are some teams that they only really are able to play a pick-based style, and then when you deny them the picks and it gets really late into the round, they're forced on a map like Train, especially, they're forced to do a set piece then. They're forced to do that because that's the only way to get out the choke points if they can't get a pick. So. And we never saw that really. We never saw Complexity forcing NRG to do anything. And this is like a common way to try to frustrate a team, because there's a lot of teams that will have strengths, of course, and weaknesses. And one of the most important things is to identify the strengths of an opponent and not to allow them to play their game right. And if you can do that, then they get frustrated because you take them out of their comfort zone. And that's where you can really start toying with an opponent who might be a bit stronger than you in some aspects of the game. But I think we saw Complexity lacking on a lot of I think maybe they just don't have preparation on Train at all. I think that's definitely a big thing. Generally.
Second map is going to be Mirage, which we will be back with after the break. See you in a few minutes.